Welcome back. Maybe? So welcome. There we go. You are welcomed. Now we'll actually start the minigame. The waves aren't here. The waves here aren't all that big though. Well, I say that. But welcome to the big wave ride. So basically the exact same mechanics of surfing in general. This one's a little bit different. I noticed the pattern A and B tricks. They don't tell you that in the tutorial, and it doesn't even cover that many tricks between pattern A and B. Like, the useful tricks are neither of those two, in fact. I would argue. Front flip and back flip are useful, I guess. That's mostly that, and then the two special tricks, the rodeo and the... whatever the other one was called. I'm trying to remember. Oh well. Windmill. But as I was saying at the end of last episode, this is kind of an ideal opportunity for me to actually speak deliberately and try to be legible in my speech. Legible is a weird way of putting it, I guess, but still. Look how big this wave is! There's also that, too. This thing is huge. I feel like it's good I didn't start with this, because I won't be able to recognize how crazy huge this wave is, and the air I'm getting off of it is, if it wasn't for the fact that I started with smaller waves before it. Look how many tricks I can do. Look at the 40 bonus points I get off of that. If you can pull off 2 big tricks in one air, you get tons and tons and tons of points. So combining tricks instead of just doing one big trick is a big way to get points here. I need to start exploring if I want to go for a better score on the normal waves outside of this minigame. But one thing I've noticed is sometimes I'll even record something intentionally where I'm trying to speak clearly and whatnot, and there are no distractions, like a game that I'm watching or whatever, and yet still, I'll play it back and I would feel like I was making conscious effort to enunciate and be understandable and whatnot, and I'll hear it again and I'll still think, man, that was not very understandable. Also, I try to make things interesting here, but honestly, I think the only real way to get maximum points here is probably just to do rodeo flip and windmill the entire time. That's probably how you maximize your points. Or higher. See, that's the key word here. So there is something higher than A then. So I do need to do better. So now we have renewed vigor to get a better rank on the wave here. On the small waves, that is. And the formalities. Hey, you're all the way out here on this island now. I don't know, that gives me so much difficulty though, the clear speech thing. People don't complain about it, really? In fact, I don't know if I've ever heard complaints from anyone on YouTube about me speaking in a way that is not understandable, even though I think that's an issue. I don't know. Also, they don't seem to actually list the different keys, or the different key criteria here. I imagine one is just for completing all the different stages of the minigame or something, I'm not sure. But we'll have to find out about that later. Nor do I think the game has explicitly explained silver keys or gold keys yet, or anything like that. I'm assuming that they unlock stuff. Like, I unlocked some more normal clothes at one point. Whoops. I tried to dive there, and it just didn't. That's what happens if you dive too late. You just don't do anything at all. But I assume that when I unlocked some more normal clothes earlier, a couple episodes ago, it was because I've been picking up keys, and those unlocked those other clothes? I don't know. The way that unlocking stuff in the earlier 2 games in this series worked was you would do something, like in the first game you would just finish minigames, I think it was, and in the second game you would collect these thumbs ups, they were called, just that basically being the equivalent to stamps or keys in this game. And as you collected more and more and more, you would just get, I think the only thing that would change is you'd get more items to wear, actually. Although that seems to be the only thing this can do, for that matter. Anyways, anyways. We're gonna serve this one as long as we can. So now we have no. We can do better. So let's try to do better. We also know how many points we get from. How many bonus points we get from doing multiple tricks in one air. See, like that. If we can do things like that, that's 75 points in one jump. That's huge. So we can just do that consistently. We should probably be able to do something pretty good. But this is where the inconsistency in airtime starts becoming a problem. I don't know how to consistently get enough air to do that. Sometimes it feels like I start the trick way too late too. Which might just be a motion control issue. But I need to do this consistently, because you go through... Jeez, barely landed that one too. You go through quite a few jumps when you get on a wave for this long. So I can't do a spin there. No. Close, I think, but no. That was still an A+. Surprisingly, even that not being very good was an A+. But okay, if that was an A+, then doing better, even if just a little bit, can definitely give me something better than A+, I would think. Although that also raises the question, when the game said A or better for that big wave minigame, well, that said there was something better than an A, so maybe the cap was an S, or maybe the cap is just an A+, I don't know. So the only grades I've seen were, I think, D, B, and A, and now A+. We don't know if the other letter grades actually have pluses, like is B+ a grade? Is the plus something that only applies to A, and that's this game's equivalent of an S rank? I don't know. Oops. Darn it, you can't stop moving while you're ducking, while you're diving, unfortunately, so if the game only tells you at the very last moment that you're going too far away from the beach, there's not much you can do about it. So note to self, dive sooner. You do need to dive pretty early. This game's water looks nice though, doesn't it? I'm surprised with how much stuff there is going on in this game that they still managed to make such pretty water. Not that it doesn't take a massive amount of computational power compared to what the Wii has to offer, but still. I don't know if you can get a wave such that you can actually go out of bounds left or right while riding the wave. So that's what I intend to find out. See, not even close on that one. If we can just do those kinds of jumps consistently, we should be good, I think. No. Again. It's like I don't know how I got those before. Not even close. It's worse. So it's not just jumping at a... It's not just being perpendicular to the wave as you jump that makes you jump high. What does make you jump high, though? What was better that time? I don't know what was different. That's 75 points I'm getting there. And sometimes that happens. If I don't do the right trick at all, that's at least as big of an issue, of course. Do you want to jump as close to the lip as possible, as far from the lip as possible, just while you're moving as quickly as possible? By jump, I mean just giving the jump input. Pressing B and then flicking upwards. I was still an A, even though I don't think that was very good. I think the fact that you get a lot of points just for ride time, and you have more opportunities for jumps if you start far out, that alone kind of biases your grade by a lot. Could we not? Trying to figure out if I can actually just get off the wave. We're just running it all the way back to the beach, I guess. Thanks, game. Now then. So I might need to try a safer strategy. Because going for the maximum number of points on every jump isn't really working out. I imagine it's possible. There's just something I haven't figured out about the jumps, I think. But even then, still, we need to come up with something. I mean, at this for quite a while now, too. We've been doing a lot of surfing for the past few episodes, so let's try to finish this up. Not go out of bounds. Let's go for something safer that will still give us lots of points. You can do one of those, and two doesn't really work. But what does work, on the other hand, is one, just doing one of those tricks, which we find does not give us that many points, unfortunately, compared to some other methods. Singular bonus point, great. I don't know what the formula is for how many bonus points you get, for that matter. See, that was a lot of air that time. Was it the fact that I had such a long approach that time to the wave? I don't know. I can use more jumps like that. See, spins aren't quite working out, although you can get more points than you'd expect by just doing a lot of spins. I was 54 just then, which is actually pretty good. Not much better than just doing a windmill, but that is already better than just doing a windmill. So just doing the best possible trick once is not that useful. Somehow that's still an A. Again though, partly because even those rotations I was doing were actually more points than you might expect. You just stop paddling if you go over a wave like that for a moment for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know how you couldn't at least keep paddling the whole time. Okay, so more experimentation. Oh, hello. And I could not dive again in time. And I now cannot paddle. A little awkward sometimes controlling those. You dive really low too. And there are no waves in sight. And I cannot go any further. Come on, wave. We're good. Alright. I don't really know what to do still while I'm waiting for my air to recharge. I guess the idea would be to set up a good jump, but I don't know what a good jump is yet. So that's one thing we can do. That's 60 points. A front flip and a back flip. Not the trick I meant to do. Apparently you can wipe out. Also, that was a B already. Jeez. It feels like the game has pretty low standards for lots of these, and yet I'm having a hard time getting what I think would be the highest grade, if there is an S indeed. Which I'm still trying to confirm. But that's probably more evidence to the contrary that there's not an S if I feel like I've been blowing away the lower ranks when I get a decent run, and that just gives me an A+. That's one hint that A+ might be the cap, but I think I have a safe strategy in mind now, so long as we can start surfing on this wave, please. Come on, there we go. I don't know if you can be out of bounds or not when you're surfing or not, so I don't know how careful to be there. So, doing a front flip and a back flip is actually pretty easy. And so it gives me 60 points. Not quite 75, but it's something. So how about we just do those? And there's no trick decay. There's no stale tricks in this game as far as I can tell. So for instance, if I want to get as many points as possible in... Even then, I only barely get it sometimes. If I wanted to get as many points as possible in the big wave challenge, I should probably... Oh jeez. Lost some points there. I should probably just only ever do the best combination of tricks, which I think is the rodeo and windmill together. Because those together give you like, what, 120 points? I think something crazy like that. Because you get huge bonus points from them. Maybe if you could even fit in another trick on top of that somehow, you can do even better. And a windmill for good measure at the end. I think the light blue part at the bottom is where the surf ends. So that was pretty good, I thought, but that's only an A+. Maybe there's an S at like 500 or something. I didn't pay too much attention to my points. I don't know if I got a ton more points than I did when I got A+ last time or not. But we might have to say here that that's probably the best score you can get. Weird that you wouldn't get any kind of key for that though, isn't it? So I'm not too sure. Either way, I think that's enough surfing for now. We can go back to the rest of the island now, after the big surfing adventure today. I'm tired of surfing just from watching that. At some point we're gonna have to come back here, maybe double check there's not an S kid here, and or ooh, Afro. It's like that Afro kid who would always ask you questions. But at some point we'll also have to do at some point there's tube surfing, I guess, to try out. I mean, that's just another version of the surfing minigame, the big wave minigame. But also we should redo the big wave minigame. I didn't think the video ended here already, but we'll have to redo the big wave minigame and go for maximum points there too. That could also be a way to determine if there's an S rank or not. But anyways, see you next time.